Hi, everyone. How are you? Welcome to True North. I'm Renata Marino, and this is True North. Just to give everyone a recap, we were off last week because I had some technical difficulties, but I'm back. True North is a audio and video podcast on the topic of overcoming adversity and pursuing our purpose. And I'm here to discuss one amazing topic called why. So a lot of us navigate through our life and we're always faced with curveballs. We're faced with obstacles. We're faced with things that happen, whether it's personal, professional. And we always ask ourselves why. I know I personally have done this. And a lot of us have done this. And we want answers. We really want answers. And at least someone like me who wants to wrap my arms around why certain things happen, just to understand and move on. And so a lot of us do this. And so I'm here to talk about how do we get past the obsessive focus on understanding the why, and so we can move forward. And in terms of my journey, I want to share what I've done and what happened to me in terms of getting past the why. So, and I hope that everyone does tune in and subscribe to my YouTube channel. This is a live video podcast. It will be audio. Right now we're starting with video because it's my favorite. And I do want to feature experts who pertain to the particular topic, who can add some value, and invite them to come on. But right now I'm kicking it off with just me. The other thing is typically I like to bring a book. I'm a big academic. I love academia. I love reading. I love studying. I want to get my PhD one day, but I always like to feature a book. And so I'm going to talk about this book before we talk about the why, but this book, I'm an entrepreneur, a serial entrepreneur. I'm an investor now. I'm a former operator, but I was part of an incubator accelerator program back in 2017 in Chicago called 1871. And I think this is true. Don't whoever is listening to this from 1871, I think this is true, isn't it? I think the reason why it's 1871 is with the big Chicago fire. This is actually really important. The reason why they're called, I think, I'm like 99% sure. I don't want to get it wrong. But in 1871 in Chicago, there was a big fire where the entire city burned down. And the city was made out of like wooden planks, like the sidewalks and the back alleys. Everything was wood. And there's like this myth or theme that's like, what is it? Somebody's cow fell over and started a fire. There was like a fire going and it spread all through Chicago. So when you look at cities, Chicago, it's a newer city. It's actually very clean compared to like New York, and because it's all about innovation, and the entire city had the opportunity to rebuild correctly. So instead of like the trash and the alleys being on the front where there's trash everywhere, like in New York, they put the alleys in the back, and it was just organized and really well. It's a very clean city. And actually, when I moved here from Boston, I love Boston because it's historic. It's older. All these other cities are older, and it's a walking city. But when I came to Chicago, first of all, I couldn't believe how big it was. Second of all, I couldn't believe how clean it was. And it's beautiful. Like down in Millennium Park, where there's the Bean, Michigan Avenue. There's always tulips. The tulips are coming soon. I can't wait to walk Michigan Avenue and just look at the amazing tulips that are going to be coming up. And it's just going to make the street just so much brighter. But anyway, the incubator was launched back. I don't even know. Someone's going to kill me. I know there's a couple. Howard Tolman's the former. No, sorry. Pete. He's the first one. No, Kevin Willer was the number one. The first guy, the first CEO. Sorry, Kevin. I know I owe you a call. Now he runs a VC in Chicago, and then Howard Tolman, who I love. Hi, Howard. How are you? I need to talk to you too. But anyway, this is the book. The incubator that I was on was a Latinx incubator. There were 13 of us. You had to apply, and it was a 4-month program helping your startup scale in all different levels. It's a great program. It has grown and changed since I was involved. But I really, it was a great turning point in my life being part of that program, not just professionally, but also personally. But every morning, some of my it was every Wednesday. I think we met every Wednesday for 4 months. And some of my fellow Latinx founders who I'm still friends with, they're going to be like rolling their eyes because I still have this book, guys. It was men and women in this group, but it's called Monday Morning Leadership. Monday Morning Leadership. And it's 8 mentoring sessions you can't afford to miss. It's really about leadership. It's funny, and I have like a business card here, but I'll read the back. I can't see. And then we'll talk about the topic today. This is it's so great. Read a story that can help your career. Everyone likes a good story, especially if there are lessons that can be immediately applied to life. This relates to today's topic about why. It's about life, but there's so much intertwined with business and personal. I'm telling you right now. And this is really what this podcast is about. It's personal, but if you don't overcome some of this stuff, it's going to morph into your professional and hinder your career. And honestly, I do believe that they're not two separate entities. Your personal life and your professional life are intertwined. And getting to the bottom of certain things, understanding the why in your personal has a direct correlation with your professional. And until we get to this point in our life where we recognize it's not separate, it's all together. If things are going down in your personal life, you don't think that your professional life is going to be impacted? For sure it is. And that's why I have a female founder community, because I believe that women need the community support to be able to, in their personal lives and professional lives, to be successful. It's all intertwined, especially for women, because we have to take care of most of the child rearing. Anyway, so this book, Monday Morning Leadership, we read every single morning for, I don't know, was it 15 minutes? And everybody had to go around and read. It was fun. I felt like I was in school, and I'm like an adult. Everyone likes a good story, especially if there are lessons that can be immediately applied to life. This book is one of those stories about a manager and his mentor. Monday Morning Leadership offers unique encouragement and direction that will help you become a better manager, employee, and person. Read, enjoy, and apply. It's great. It's about mentorship. It really, really, really is great. It was a great, we were always rolling our eyes like, here we go. But I actually may reread it. But anyway, I just wanted to share. I do have a book I bring out every episode that I like to share of what books I have read and then what have impacted me in both my personal and professional career life. But today I want to talk about why. So the topic is about why. One of the things that many of us get consumed with in our life is understanding the why. Why did this happen in our life? Whether you got laid off from a job, whether you got a divorce, a death, somebody gets sick, something happens with your child. Why did this happen? And this is, maybe it's a curveball thrown in our life. Many of us, and I myself included, get obsessed. Why did this happen? It's not fair. Or another example of whys. Why is this person treating me like this? Why are they acting like this? And someone who loves answering the question why through studying, reading books, going to therapy, really, for me, and this is just me, it could be other people, I need to wrap my arms around the why certain things happen or why certain people treat me a certain way for me to be able to move on. Because if I don't understand the why was I raised this way? Why did I have a tough love childhood? Why couldn't I just be accepted for me and that's just me? Why? This is me. If I can understand the why, then I can get comfortable with it. I actually treat it kind of like academics. It's like solving a problem. When you're a math problem or like an essay, if I research then I can just be like, oh, I get it, and then move on. And unfortunately, sometimes there's not an answer. It just happens. And so I want to relay what I've done since I'm such a, let's get to the bottom of this. So one of the things in terms of life curveballs, life tornadoes, life explosions, when we ask ourselves, why did this happen to me? I never thought this, why did it happen? Divorce, death, sickness, something happens with anything. I don't know why. Maybe it takes other people a lot more faster to get to this place. But for me, what I've come to terms with, and this was probably 2021, is when we get curveballs, when we get explosions, tornadoes, what have you, in our life, whether it's personal or professional, those are lessons. We look at those as lessons. They're not great. It's not fun to go through it, but those are lessons. We take those as, what did we learn from this experience? That, if you can view it as that, and this is even more important, this is the place where I'm at with this, and I think I said this on Twitter this morning. I welcome more of the lessons. I'm not saying I want more hardship in my life. I'm saying I have this level of faith in my life right now where if I'm presented with a curveball, it is something that I have yet to learn about in my life, about me, that's why it came into my life. Whatever it may be. Hopefully, whatever it may be. It's something that I had to learn about myself. This curveball, this explosion, this tornado. I've recognized that when I get a curveball, a life curveball, or a career curveball, that it is a lesson that I'm supposed to learn something new about myself. So I've never been like this, quite honestly. So this is, this was 2000. This has been a couple of years since, 2019, 2018, 19. I've done a lot of personal growth, and I've recognized this, and I want to convey to other people this exact lesson, this exact learning. When you get a curveball in your life, it's not fun. You're probably angry about it, sad about it, or whatever it is. At the time, you're probably not going to be able to view it as a life lesson, especially if you're young and you haven't experienced a lot of these curveballs. But the more curveballs we get as we get older, we are almost like, okay, if a new one happens, we're almost like, okay, there's something I need to learn from this. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to dig in my heels. I'm going to face it, but it's a lesson. And so I'm at a place right now, which is phenomenal, that I'm like, bring it. It's the next one. Bring it. I'm not like upset about it. I'm like, but if one does happen, it's another life lesson. It's a lesson. So what am I learning about myself? And so I just want to be able to impart, I want everyone out there, male or female, to when you're ready, if you have a curveball, if you're dealing with a tornado or an explosion or something's happening, if you can somehow get to a place of being like, I don't know what this lesson is right now. If you can get to this place, I have no clue. Renata said, this is supposed to be a lesson. How it could even possibly be a lesson, because it's really hard right now, I have no clue, but I need to think about how this could be a lesson for me. And so if you may not know what the answer is, but if you have that perspective, eventually you're going to heal from whatever, or overcome from whatever is happening in your life. And wrap your arms around and be like, okay, I get it. This is a lesson. And the more lessons we stack up, the more resilient we become, and the more badass we become, and the more bulletproof we become. And so we're easily, when the new one comes on out of the blue, we're like, okay, there has to be a lesson in this. So it's having a little faith. It's being really having it's just having a different perspective. So that's one. Now, the part that I'm having an issue with, and I just literally came to the aha moment, probably past couple months, is this. Why do certain people act a certain way towards me? Why do they treat me this way? I'm such a nice person. Why are they ghosting me? Why are they gaslighting me? Why are they ignoring me? Why are they treating me poorly? Why are they treating me poorly when I give so much? I've read so many self-help books on this. Literally, I'm like, why are there so many, for example, right after I got divorced, I was gravitating to a lot of toxic men and broken men, just low vibrational men, low vibe men. Unfortunately, this is just, I was like, oh my God, the world is full of all these broken men. What's wrong with this world? That's how I was at. That's the space I was at during COVID, through like 2020. Like, what? I was in this space. So I was reading a lot of self-help books, and actually they really helped me, this academic in me. They helped me understand it's not them, it's me. I was accepting breadcrumbs. I was accepting the poor treatment. I was letting it happen. I didn't have enough strength and self-love to walk away from that. And so I literally poured everything. I just spent over a year, 2 years, whatever, pouring everything into myself, investing in myself, self-care. And it's less about taking classes and learning. That's easy for me. I could do that like day and night. It's easy. Keep learning. It's really about self-love, investing in myself, doing spas, taking baths, going on vacation, for me, not with other people, just for me, like doing things that I love, that fill my heart, that fill my soul, that I deserve, based on taking care of me, dating myself. And you need to do that. You need to do that because that allows you to build self-confidence, and that allows you to attract what you deserve, the amazing people that belong in your life. And I didn't realize that solution. Gosh, I wish someone could teach a course on this. Now I am. But it doesn't make sense, but it actually does make sense, because now I don't attract all the low vibe guys and it's people who respect me and treat me nicely. And you won't attract that amazing people in your life until you treat yourself amazingly. And so that was the why. So I was able to wrap my arms around the why. So, but we still encounter some people that we ask ourselves, like, why are they like this? I'm such a nice, upbeat person. I'm so positive. Like, why is this person treating me? Why are they not getting back to me? Why are they not investing in me? Why? And we get obsessed. And why are they treating me poorly? Why are they ignoring me? Why? And I think I think Oprah said this on a quote. We're wasting our time obsessing about why they're acting a certain way, why they're not doing a certain thing, why they did a certain thing. We're wasting our time because those people, they're not obsessing. They're probably not even thinking about it. That's just who they are. Now, sometimes, so we have to let go and just have to focus on ourselves, what we can control for ourselves. And this is a lesson that I've recently learned the past, just accepting the people for who they are. And quite honestly, if their behavior is just confusing and or unrecognizable, you can't change them. And that's a journey they're on, and you have to accept them for that. You don't have to hang with them. You can distance yourself, but if they're negative or if they're, low vibe, they're on their own healing journey. And whether or not they're going to come out of it, you send them love and say, hey, this is not a bad person. This person's a very nice person. Deep down inside, they're just going through a lot right now. So you can distance yourself. You send them love and you can distance yourself. And this is what I've learned. Because we have to stay upbeat, stay positive, surround ourselves with people that support us. And this is the number one thing, was protecting our peace. So understanding the why of people's behavior, that was the hardest thing for me to understand. and to be able to distance myself from people that don't fill my soul the way I deserve to be filled. And then I think that's where we have to get. So I don't know if that's helpful, but I think understanding why certain things happen in your life, I take them as lessons. Understanding why people act a certain way, they're on their own healing journey. And there's nothing wrong with sending them love and distancing yourself. I think that's really, really important, both in our personal and professional lives. So I hope that helps. Tune in. I'm going to come on tomorrow. I'm excited to be back now that all my technology and my Wi-Fi is up. But love helping people, love being able to impart words of wisdom. I'm hoping to do this both in my TEDx talks coming up and on stage around the country. But this is me. This is who I am, and I want to help as many people as possible. One of the things I like to end as a fire engine goes by is I always end my sessions with rapid fire Q&A, and eventually I want to be able to ask these questions for my guests. But these are questions that are random. I have no idea what these questions are, and I like to end the session because it's very off the cuff and sporadic, and I like that. I like rapid fire Q&A. So I have no idea what these questions are. Okay, question number 1. Have you ever been so happy you cried? Yes, I have. I have a lot. Not recently, but in my life I have. It's the greatest feeling. It's so great. And I hope to do that soon. So happy I cried. It's, you know what? I'm at a point right now where when awesome things happen in my life, not that I wasn't grateful before, but I'm going to appreciate it so much more now. I'm not saying I didn't appreciate it, but even the smallest things, like even having my cup of coffee. But I have been so happy that I've cried. Lots of amazing things, and I can't wait to cry more in a happy way. Not in a sad way, in a happy way. Okay. What's your most favorite pair of shoes you've ever owned? Oh, you know what? It's so funny because I wear a lot of like Jimmy Choo, Louis Vuitton, like really nice shoes. There's a shoe that I love. It's a Rene Cavalli, I think. It's like a sparkly shoe that has like this thing that twines up all your leg. It goes all the way up. Those are my favorite shoes. Those are very, very expensive and very nice. But I love big stilettos, like skinny heels. I love it. I love platform shoes. I love it. Elegant, and anything that makes me tall. But this is so weird. I don't know why this came into my mind. It's not my favorite pair, but I don't know. It came into my favorite pair. Back in 8th grade, I went through this tomboy phase. I mean, I've always kind of been a tomboy, but not now. But back in, I was never girly. No, I was. My mother dressed my sisters and I very girly, but in 8th grade, I was playing soccer, and I was always wearing like Umbros. You know Umbros? Does everyone remember Umbros? Is that still in existence? Umbros. Black, long to the knee, like right above the knee, Umbros, and Samba shoes. Is that Adidas? Sambas. You know, the flat indoor soccer shoes? Yeah. In like I don't know, a t-shirt, a sweatshirt. And my Belmont Hill. Yeah. And I remember, was it Belmont Hill? Yeah, I wore his sweatshirt. I don't know why that came into my mind. Of the brands you see in the grocery store, which are your favorites? I don't know why. I mean, I don't know why this came up with this. This hit just came up right in my mind. So back in 2001, I had an internship at Nestle in LA, Glendale area, California, in LA. And I had my project that I was working on. I had to reposition the 100 grand candy bar. Does everyone remember the 100 grand candy bar? It's really good. I had to reposition the 100 g candy bar to target the Hispanic, the Latinx market. And since I'm Latina and I speak Spanish, I had to go into deep in the heart of LA. In the grocery stores by myself and go into these like little mom and pop grocery stores, like Latinx grocery stores, and on an interview, mostly women, but shoppers on why they are buying certain brands. Like, why are they buying certain brands from, from Latin America, from whatever country they're from, and why some would buy those brands and some would buy like US brands. And it was very interesting research because what I needed to do was reposition the packaging and the placement and what we were trying to do is because Hershey just came out with the dulce de leche M&M. And so they were stealing market share from the Latinx market. And so Nestle wanted to combat that by repositioning the 100 g because it had that caramel. And it was really about the caramel flavor component. And so I had to figure out what should the packaging look like? What should it say? Should it have English? Should it have Spanish? Should it have both? And then like distribution. The play was really distribution. How are we going to get this new bar, this repackaged bar, distributed to some of the smaller grocery stores because we didn't have the infrastructure at Nestle to be able to get to the smaller markets. It was a very interesting strategy. It was a very interesting project. Mind you, I had a lot of bags of dulce de leche M&Ms in my freezer. I remember because I was dating my former husband then, and he came to pick me up when my internship ended, and he opened up the freezer. He's like, why do you have all these bags of M&Ms? I'm like, and I remember my cavity bill for my dentist was really bad that year because all I kept doing was eating. If you parked in, I don't know where the headquarters is now, but where I worked in the indoor parking garage, you'd get out and you have to walk past this. It's like their candy store for Nestle. And I always discounted candy. And Nestle, I don't know if they still own it, but they own Willy Wonka. And so I'm obsessed with Nerds Rope and Nerds and Sprees. That's all I ate. So I had a lot of cavities. But for some reason, so the project was really interesting. And so what we found with the Latinx market was that there's acculturated and unacculturated Latinx target audience. I'm a big market research person. I care about research and be able to study people, segments, to be able to make conclusions and deductions for the future. And when you're making a business decision. So I'm a big research person. And when I'm doing, as an investor, I care about the research behind what happened in the past and what the projections are for the future. That's a big part of me. But anyway, most of the Latinx market, the people who've lived in this country, in the US for many, many years, are buying US products. So the ones that actually just moved here are more comfortable with the products from their home country because they're used to it and it works, like dishwashing detergent, laundry detergent, food. And yesterday I was just in the only Latinx grocery store in the North Shore of Chicago. And I was looking for my family's brand because my family owns one of the largest canned food businesses globally, Herdez. And I was asking the owner, one of them, I forgot his name, where is the brand, where am I? And he's like, I just need a salesperson and I'll be able to. But anyway, understanding the research and understanding the markets and the brands is a big part of what I love. What one book will you never get? What one book will never get old? Oh, Anne of Green Gables. I used to read that when I was a little girl. All of this L.M. Montgomery segments, it's about Anne is she's an orphan. She was adopted by a woman and her brother. This was like in the olden days, like colonial times. And I always resonated with her because she's determined. And she was an outcast and as an orphan and never took shit from anyone. Literally very stubborn and determined. And I always resonated with her. It's very similar personality. Um, and she was kind of always like an outcast, like, um, but very smart and worked hard. So Anne of Green Gables. I still to this day love it. Love that book. Love the series. If you could give everyone in the world one item, what would it be? Kindness. Kindness. It's not really an item, but that's what I would give. People need to be more kind. Kinder. People need to be kinder to other people. That's what I think. What's the best news show on television? I mean, I don't really watch TV, but I actually need to start watching TV, or at least a show. Oh, I'll tell you, it's not new, but I'm really obsessed with Stranger Things. Obsessed. I actually need to talk to I've been watching it with my kids. Stranger Things is so amazing. Okay, last but not least. What's the most exciting thing about the future? Great things are going to happen. Great things are happening. Happiness, love. Happiness and love. That's in my future. I see it. I feel it. It's great. I'm lucky. And this goes back to the why. Everything we've been through, everything I've been through is lessons. I'm good with it. I get it. It's actually helping me. And I see things from a different perspective, a higher perspective right now of why certain things went down. And I'm good with it. It's great. I embrace it. I think if we can get to this place of acceptance and understanding that things happen for a reason and it's a lesson, then we're golden. But I see love and happiness in my future. I see it now and I see it in my future. Anyway, guys, have a great day. And please tune in. True North on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe. I'll be putting up clips later. But I hope to impart words of wisdom of overcoming adversity, pursuing our purpose, and helping as many people as possible. Later, guys. See ya.